Welcome to Hey Mom, We Never Prepared for This, the show where we have the tough conversations around aging and caring for a loved one. Whether you're an adult child or an aging parent or anyone caring for a loved one, this podcast is for you. I am your host, Angela Vanderpool, and each episode we dive into actionable tips, heartfelt stories, and expert guidance to support you on your journey. Let's get started. Welcome back to Hey Mom, We Never Prepared for This. In today's episode, we're stepping into one of the biggest moments in this journey, that turning point when it becomes clear that a loved one either can't or chooses not to live alone anymore. Maybe you've noticed the fridge isn't stocked, the laundry is piling up, or something bigger has happened, like a fall, a hospitalization, or a serious health diagnosis. Suddenly, you're asking, what now? This episode is all about helping you answer that question with clarity and confidence. Because here's the truth. Most people don't understand the landscape of senior living until they're in it. And by then, it's often urgent. There's pressure, there's emotion, and a whole new world of terms and care levels to navigate. So let's slow it down. Let's start at the beginning. There are many different types of senior living, and each one serves a different need. Think of it like a spectrum, from totally independent retirement lifestyles to round-the-clock medical care. Today, we'll walk through them together one by one. Starting with independent living. Think of this as a college dorm, but for your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Independent living is perfect for people who are still active and don't need medical help, but who want to let go of the responsibilities of home ownership. No more mowing the lawn or cooking every meal. Instead, residents enjoy meals, activities, housekeeping, transportation, and most importantly, community. There are no caregivers or nurses on staff, but help can be arranged privately if needed, and some communities have partnerships with home care agencies directly in their building. The goal is simple: enjoy retirement with freedom and ease. Next is assisted living. Now, let's say your loved one is mostly independent, but needs some help. Maybe with medications, bathing, or getting around. That's where assisted living comes in. It offers all the benefits of independent living, like meals, social life, and no home maintenance, but adds a layer of care tailored to the individual. Caregivers are available 24/7, and a nurse oversees each resident's personalized care plan. It's a beautiful middle ground. Independence where possible, support where needed. Next is memory care. Memory care is for those living with Alzheimer's, dementia, or other cognitive conditions that affect safety and quality of life. These are secure, structured environments where specially trained staff support residents' unique needs, from wandering prevention to nonverbal communication. What sets memory care apart is the intentionality. Activities are designed around sensory experiences, routines are comforting, and the staff to resident ratio is typically lower. It's about safety, dignity, and connection, even as memory fades. Next is skilled nursing. This is what most people think of when they hear nursing home. Skilled nursing is for people who need higher level medical care, often after a surgery, injury, or major health event. These stays are often short term and focused on recovery, but some people may stay longer if they require constant clinical support, like feeding tubes or Hoyer lifts. Nurses and rehab therapists are on site around the clock, and discharge planners help families find the right next step, whether that's going home, moving into independent or assisted living, or another care setting. And finally, there's adult foster care, sometimes called adult care homes. These are small residential settings, often in regular houses, where just a few residents receive highly personalized one-on-one care. It's a quieter, more intimate, and can be a great fit for someone who needs more attention than a larger community can provide. The trade-off, it may not offer the same privacy, activities, or staffing levels as a larger community, but for the right person, it can feel just like home. So, where do you even start? Right here. Understanding what the options are and what they are not is the first step towards making a choice that fits your family's needs, values, and vision for the future. In the next part of the episode, we'll hear from leaders in our own communities about how they help families walk through these choices in real life and how to navigate this transition with grace, honesty, and a little humor. Stay with us. Welcome back to Hey Mom, We Never Prepared for This, the show where we try to untangle the complicated, emotional, and often overwhelming reality of aging, caregiving, and everything in between. I'm your host, Angela Vanderpool, and in today's episode, Where Do We Even Start Understanding Senior Living? We're going to do exactly that, help you start. Because for many of us, the phrase senior living brings up a confusing swirl of images and assumptions, and not always accurate ones. So, in the second half of today's episode, we're turning to the real experts, the general managers and marketing directors who work in senior living every single day. We asked them, what are the biggest misconceptions families have when they begin this journey? And what advice would you give to someone who's just starting the process? Let's dive in. Charmaine, general manager of Fountain Plaza in Medford, Oregon, says, I often get calls from families asking about assisted living, only to discover that their loved one might actually be better suited for independent living. People just don't always know the difference, and once we walk through it, they're often relieved, especially because the cost difference can be quite significant. Her advice, start early. Don't wait until there is a crisis. Tour communities, formally and informally. If your loved one gets an invitation to an event, go. Have fun. And don't try to visit every single community. Narrow it down to 2 or 3 to avoid overwhelming them. Most importantly, include your loved one in the conversation. Ask them what's important to them, even if they seem resistant. Julie, marketing director from Horton Plaza in Medford, says one of the biggest misconceptions is that all senior living is the same. People lump everything into the idea of a nursing home. They also don't understand the difference between private pay and Medicaid options. My advice is do your research. Understand your own situation or your parents' situation, and don't wait too long. Life can change in an instant. Enjoy the community and what it offers while you can. Shannon, the marketing director of Whispering Winds in Bend, Oregon, says, So many people still imagine senior living as sterile, like a hospital or full of people sitting around with walkers. But that's just not true anymore. Many communities are active and vibrant, even in assisted living. That's why it's so important to tour, try the food, talk to the staff, ask about how long they've worked there, watch how the residents interact. You will learn so much. James, marketing director at Fountain Plaza, says, I hear this all the time. Isn't independent living just assisted living by another name? Or I thought retirement communities were just places where people went to lose their freedom. And I get it, but it's so off base. What people don't realize is that this kind of move often gives people more freedom. They don't have to cook, clean, worry about the lawn, or drive to appointments. They can finally just enjoy their time. James's practical tip: if you're looking into assisted living or memory care, ask for the Uniform Disclosure Statement. It tells you what's included, helps you compare, and shows the staff that you've done your homework. And please be proactive. He says he once had someone delay their move only to fall while doing yard work. And after a hospital stay, they needed a higher level of care than before. So again, start early. If you're looking, then it's probably time. Summer, general manager at Twin Creeks in Central Point, Oregon, says people hear retirement community and immediately think of a nursing home or a long-term care facility. They have no idea about the amenities, fitness, cultural events, food, travel groups. She says she also hears, I'm not old enough. And she says she loves talking to them about that. We're here to help you do more of what you want, not less. Her advice: eat at the community twice at different times. Ask all the questions. Look at rent increases, services included. Talk to residents. Don't wait until you're forced to choose. Take your time and trust your gut. Carrie, the general manager at Whispering Winds, says, the most common thing I hear, I'm not ready yet. Or I'm not as old as these people. But once they move in, people realize how much freedom they've gained. They're actually more independent. Carrie's guidance: start early. Visit different communities. Make it less scary by being familiar. Look at the calendar. Plan your tour around something fun. Stay for a meal. Talk to the residents and staff, and make sure you understand the pricing and what's included. Kim, the general manager at Turpin Terrace in Eugene, says, one of the biggest misconceptions I hear is that moving a loved one into senior living means they're giving up their independence or being put away. That fear weighs heavy, but it could not be further from the truth. Senior living, especially independent living, is about enhancing independence. We remove the burdens of home upkeep and offer the right support to help people thrive. Even in memory care or skilled nursing, our focus is dignity, purpose, and quality of life. Kim also reminds us that not all senior living is the same. Every community is different, from vibe to services to cost. It's not just nursing homes. Do your homework and ask the right questions. Her advice: assess your loved one's needs honestly. Involve them in the process. Think about what they value. Look at the community vibe. Are people engaged? Are staff helpful? Ask about pricing and watch for red flags like vague answers or pressure to sign quickly. And most of all, breathe. This can feel overwhelming, but you're doing it out of love. Visit places just for a meal or an event. It'll make the whole process feel more real and manageable. So, what have we learned from all of this? Senior living is not one size fits all. It's not giving up. And it's certainly not something you want to leave until the last minute. Starting early means having choices. It means less stress, and it means giving your loved one and yourself the best chance at finding a community that feels like home. We hope this episode helped you understand the landscape just a little bit better. And if you're listening and feeling overwhelmed, take that deep breath. You are not alone. Thanks for joining us for Hey Mom, We Never Prepared for This. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in to Hey Mom, We Never Prepared for This. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It really helps us reach more adult children and their aging parents and loved ones. Special thanks to our sponsor, Dharma Healthcare Management, for supporting the show. Stay tuned for more honest conversations to help you find peace, clarity, and community with others who understand what you're going through. And we'll see you next time on Hey Mom, We Never Prepared for This.